sum up this year for you?
Honestly, haven't really had time to think about it. Just came off the mound, so obviously kind of a topsy-turvy season. First half quite difficult. Happy I was able to find some mechanical fixes to kind of get back in the right direction and pitch well in the second half.
We talked about this a little bit in Phoenix, but given some of the ups and downs you navigated, especially in the first half, how much more validating is a season like this, knowing you had to navigate that? You had the season with the sub-3 ERA.
Yeah,
sub 13 minutes.
I think obviously you'd always rather it go well, but it's nice to be able to turn it around, especially after a few months. It gets really draining and it's tiresome, and you just gotta come in every day and have a positive mindset and keep working hard. That kind of like relentless pursuit of finding something or anything to make it click paid off.
How special is it for you to tie Bob Feller, the great Bob Feller, in wins?
I tied? I met Bob Feller back in the day at Old Dominion, so I was in awe. Just a legend, and so yeah, that's actually a pretty full circle moment right there.
Every interview we did with you in spring training, we probably talked about 300 or around 300. Mm-hmm. How do you view that pursuit now, the way this season went?
Yeah, it's more difficult, for sure. Don't think it's out of the question. I think, if I can maintain my health and make, how many starts did I make this year? 29 starts. If I can go out there and make 29 starts a year and be healthy and pitch decent, I don't think every year. I do think at the beginning of the season, some of the pitfalls kind of had to do with still kind of bouncing back from some of the nerve stuff from last year, some of the neck stuff, and ironing that out. So, I think more importantly, if I can go out and make 29, 30-plus starts and give our team a chance to win for a few more years, then it's possible. Okay, I'm not going to say it's not. It's definitely harder, though. If you make 29 starts, you'd like to win 10, 15 games. Wasn't in the cards this year, but maybe this year wasn't meant to be for wins. Maybe this year was meant to be kind of like for health and kind of like refinding myself and getting used to taking the ball every 5-6 days and just kind of going out there and being able to log some innings and maybe that'll carry me where I need to go. I don't know.
Back when you signed, you said one of your goals this year was to kind of prove that you still have it at this level. With the second half that you had this year, do you feel like you accomplished that goal?
Yeah, I do.
Justin, you're obviously a free agent at the end of this season. Would you reconsider re-signing with San Francisco?
Yeah, I'll consider anything. I really enjoyed the guys here, and obviously it was a tough season personally, but as far as like an organization and the guys I got to play with here, it was just like so class and really just off the field and in the locker room, one of the more fun seasons I've had. So, yeah.
Not to under or overstate it, but is it just show you after the kind of season you've had how tough wins are to come by? Just as far as like just.
Yeah, I think as the game is changing and guys go less deep in the game, I think it's clear that wins are getting harder and harder to come by. That being said, there was plenty of opportunity this year.
Yeah, Bob said before the game he thinks you pitched well enough that might even be some multi-year offers out there for you. But what is you headed to? I know you just came off the mound, but I mean, what do you think you'll be looking for?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Haven't honestly had time to sit down and think about it. I don't even know if a multi-year offer is something that I would really want at this point in my career. I think at this point it's take it year by year, and I think this year, like I said, was for me personally making 29 starts, throwing 150. How many did I throw? 152 innings. By my standards, that's pretty low, but that's kind of a different age in game. So, to be able to, especially with the second half, and be able to show that I can throw quality innings and be successful, for a period of time and not just kind of like a flash in the pan. So that was, like I said, more importantly, I think making close to 30 starts, taking the ball on a regular turn, and then figuring it out and doing the same with some quality innings. That was a big step forward for me, and something that like I view that once your body kind of gets in the routine of doing that, I think you're able to rinse and repeat more and more year after year, and you just learn from each season. So, that's what I think was the most positive takeaway from this year.
Would pitching closer to home maybe be a factor? It's the first time you trained in Arizona, right? And your family expanded. And
Look, I'm going to be really honest with you. I haven't even had time to think about it.
Yeah.
You know, I've been scratching and clawing and just trying to find anything to be successful and pitch well for the San Francisco Giants. So, I'm going to enjoy this game tomorrow. Watch Webby go out there and hopefully lock up a couple of big things for him, and I don't know. I'll sit down with my family and talk about that in the offseason.
How much more confident are you now versus spring training in terms of pitching a few more years? Because in spring training, you're coming off the injury, it's uncharted territory.
Yeah,
now,
totally.
After what you've done, you get more confident?
Yeah, I think much more so after the second half. I think the first half was, I think my stuff was there, which led me to be confident that I could turn it around and find myself. And ironically, some of the mechanical adjustments I made sacrificed a little bit of stuff for deceptiveness. But I was able to have success and still maintain my health and recover every 5-6 days and feel good when I took the mound for the most part. So, that kind of showed me everything I needed to know as far as physically being able to still do what I want to do. I don't want to go out there and do what I did the whole first half. If I'd continue to do that the whole rest of the season, then we might be having a different conversation. But to be able to find it and learn from one of the more frustrating first halves in my career. I've kind of always said I look back at some of the toughest moments in my career, core surgery, Tommy John, and when I look back at those now, I look back at them really fondly. I learned so much through those process to allow me to sustain the success that I did after those incidences took place, and met people that have helped me along the way. And I hope and look back at this first half as the same type of thing. Maybe a few years from now, I get that 300th win, and it's like, man, that first half that I really grinded through in San Francisco really taught me a lot and allowed me to get where I wanted to. You got to have that mindset.
Obviously, you got a little uncomfortable there in the top of the ninth. Just what was it like for you to watch that inning play out? Because everyone was on the line for you and the team.
I just try to stay calm. I found a different place to sit in the locker room than I had all season. I had a different brand of beer. I just was doing whatever I could. So just was happy to see it get pulled out. Biv did a great job when he came in and got a big punch out and got the last out.
What was the beer?
Okay, come on. I've tried them all this season, so don't worry. You think it, I tried it.